If you imagine you might be flying over Antarctica, there's nothing, it's white, and then you can see a mountain sticking up and you can see this bit of rock. Knowing that location is vital in helping people work their way around and knowing where they are. My name is Laura Gerrish and I'm a GIS and mapping specialist. I work for the British Antarctic Survey here in Cambridge. We do such a wide range of work, but it's primarily scientific research in the Antarctic and the Arctic a little bit, and also operational support for anyone in the UK wanting to go and do their own research in Antarctica. My role is to create maps and geospatial data to enable others in this organisation to be able to go to Antarctica and work safely and to study it from their own office here in the UK as well. Without maps, people don't know where they're going. I know that sounds really simple, but you need to know where things are in order to visit there and also in order to visit there safely. It's a treacherous and dangerous place, and so we need as much information about these locations as possible before people set foot there. I rely on satellite data, satellite images all of the time. But if I just gave an image to someone, they might not be able to interpret it. They might just see a load of white and be like, what's that? What's that? Whereas I can take that data, that raw data, and make something much more easy to interpret for people. So I can mark specific features on it and I can tell you what's what and I can give you location information. We present the information in a different way that makes it just so much more useful than just a raw image, for example. So this map here is our main map of Antarctica. It shows the whole continent and it's got some extra information around the edge as well. In order to make a map like this, it's created from so many different data sets. So around the edge you've got the bathymetry, so how deep the ocean is. You've got the features on land, and we've got contours which show the elevations. We've got the different stations all shown here and the different place names and the labels. More and more data is becoming available for Antarctica all of the time, which is one of my favourite things. It's absolutely fantastic. So each time I update this map, which is every 2 to 3 years or something, I'm incorporating new places, new data to make it as up-to-date and as useful as possible. A lot of my work might just be making quite small figures and maps for people to go into scientific papers. So BAS does really leading cutting-edge science and producing scientific papers all of the time. So I produce a lot of these kind of figures and maps for people to display their data in a way that other people and the public can understand. Studying Antarctica is so vital for us to understand climate change. There's a massive project happening at the moment studying Thwaites Glacier in West Antarctica. It's this massive glacier which is retreating and melting at unprecedented rates. And so there's teams of scientists going down from the UK and from America in a big joint project to understand how this glacier is changing. And so by understanding how Thwaites Glacier might be melting and might be changing, we can predict the sea level rise a little bit better. When I tell people I'm a cartographer, a lot of people say, oh, aren't the maps of the world already all made? Why do you need to make more maps? And in Antarctica, I'd say it's more important than ever to continually update them. They're changing all of the time. So, for example, a few years ago, I was making this map that included a big ice shelf, the Larsen Ice Shelf. And as I was making it over a period of a few months, a big chunk of the ice shelf broke off and my data was instantly out of date. So luckily I got it in time before it went to the printers, but I can then update this data, update my map and produce constantly up-to-date maps and information for everyone. In Antarctica, there's still so much of it that no one's ever been to. A few years ago, I was working on a project where some people were going to look for meteorites in Antarctica, and they went into this area where no one had been, really quite remote. And so I was making maps of this. And it was really on my mind that these maps had to be so accurate and so good and so detailed for them because no one's been there before. I think it's an honour being able to look at all of these images and this information of such a pristine, untouched environment.